these randoms keep getting jobs? Don't worry about it. I'm going to say it. I can't wait to say it. I love it. Ain't 32 better than me.
I don't know about y'all, but I missed Cam Newton. Shannon, what's your reaction to Cam's video?
Cam, it's 2023. You one of them randoms. I hate to break it to him, Skip.
Yeah.
The last time Cam Newton won a game was 2020. The last time he passed for 3,000 yards in a season was 2018. The last time he started every game in the season was 2017. The last time he started a playoff game was 2017. The last time he made the Pro Bowl was 2015. Cam is basing everything on what he once was. I don't know if Cam has looked at film from 2020 and 2021, but he wasn't good. I don't know who's in his ear. I don't know, because Skip, I'm going to keep it 100 with you and everybody that's watching, and Cam.
And him.
Cam, you hadn't been good for a very long time, bro. And all you do is put down, well, how these randoms. I'm going to tell you something. They probably not telling you in your circle. That's how the league looks at you now. You're one of them randoms. You're not a guy that says if we get Cam Newton, he's going to alter the trajectory of our franchise. That's not how they perceive you. That's not how they're looking at you. Now, the question is, these randoms get jobs. Are you going to willing to be a backup? Everybody, I can be a backup. And then the first thing he does when he gets there and it's not going his way, well, how this guy starting in front of me? Teams don't want that. This is not 2015 when you led a team to the Super Bowl. No. You were the MVP. I want somebody to tell me since 2015 that Cam Newton has been really good. Okay, Cam Newton has been good. Not based on what he did. He was Rookie of the Year. He's been a Pro Bowl player. He's an MVP. But how long ago? So how long do we get to live on what we've done based on what we're going to do?
Yeah.
And that's how teams, Skip, remember when we talked about we was talking about somebody, Odell. Odell once upon a time was a top 2, top 3, top 5 receiver.
He was.
He's no longer that. At one point in time, Cam was a top 5 quarterback. He's no longer that. So what are you supposed to do, Skip? Once upon a time, Cam was an MVP.
Yep.
Do you know how long ago that's been? That was a land far, far away. That was different teams ago. That was different years ago. Man, we got to stop this notion and keep stopping these guys that, he was once good. Okay, yes, he was. Cam was outstanding. But be honest with yourself. Cam isn't that same player anymore. And he hasn't been that player for a very, very, very long time.
I thought he had a moment early in his New England stint.
Yes.
In trying to replace the greatest quarterback ever.
Right.
It was hard, man, but he stepped right in. And I'll never forget that Seattle game on that Sunday night.
Yes.
He was spectacular in that game. And it came within...
Last play of the game on fourth down, he got stopped.
Last play of the game. And maybe if he'd cut it more.
Bounced it outside.
But it was that.
Had another game in Buffalo like that later in the year, Skip.
I thought he played very well in stretches, but it didn't end well because he wound up 7 and 8 as that quarterback. And then there was a quarantine COVID pandemic issue the next year where he left out of their bubble, remember, and he wasn't supposed to leave, and it set him back, and Mac Jones was a rookie, and they decided, we're just going forward with Mac Jones, and they said, remember, the news broke while we were sitting right here, and we were like, what? He just cut Cam? Yep, he cut Cam. So he winds up going back for a second stint in Carolina, and he wasn't very good.
No, he wasn't.
He had that one moment where he threw the one touchdown, then he ran for a touchdown. He ran all the way out to the logo at midfield, and I'm back.
And they lost that game.
Yeah, and they lost that game. Okay. Here I go again, because I used to be the biggest fan of Cam Newton. Loved it that he went first overall. I was in awe of his 2015 because it was something.
It was special, 15-1.
He carried that. I know they had a really good defense, but he just lifted that team up on his 6'5" tall shoulder pads and said, here we go. MVP, Super Bowl. And if not for Von Miller, who knows what would have happened, but Von Miller just took the game over.
He did.
And again, Cam did not play very well in that Super Bowl, but he got there. And then if you just can't protect him at all, he's got no shot.
Right.
And that was Von Miller's game from start to finish.
Yes.
From that point forward, to your point, he had basically, quote unquote, died for the cause in Carolina because You want to talk about run to contact? He ran through contact like nobody I've ever seen. No quarterback has ever run the football the way Cam Newton did at about 6 feet 5 inches, 250, maybe 60 at some points.
Yeah, easy.
He's a huge human being who will compete his guts out with you, because I'll never forget those games against the Falcons, those division rivalry games. He just run over linebackers at the goal line.
The Saints?
Really? Yeah, Saints. Hey, I got you. I'll run over you.
Well, Skip, you remember the game he was prancing, and he didn't see the linebacker that was in the roll coverage, and he was prancing. The linebacker hit him right up under his chin.
Oh, man.
You can't keep taking shots like that.
So I'll give him this. He has to be way healthier than he used to be after a full year off.
Correct.
Okay, now, what is this? What are we doing here? Well, first of all, if you want to throw for the NFL, you need to do it coming right out of the season, because you're so late in the game right now. You got no shot.
Right.
I mean, seriously, who doesn't have their eye on whatever their quarterback plan is right now?
Correct.
And we have 4 good to maybe great ones coming up in the draft.
At least 4 in the first round.
Well, it looks like they're going to go 4 out of 5.
Right.
Like Kuiper's latest has 4 out of 5 quarterbacks going in the top. Will Anderson would be the only one who wouldn't be a quarterback.
Right.
Okay, so those teams are sitting on those quarterbacks.
Correct.
Well, everybody else the musical chairs have stopped, and all the quarterbacks have landed. Even Baker Mayfield landed down in Carolina. Well, what team is going to say, oh, April Fools, I'm going to blow up my plan. I don't care that we signed Jimmy G. Let's go get Cam Newton.
Right.
It's too late in the process. You need to establish yourself as back on the map if you have any prayer of getting a job.
Right.
Because I'm going to say it again. Cam Newton was not born to be a backup quarterback. He has a huge personality. He wants to play. He knows he's a former MVP. It's hard for that guy. He's only 33 years of age as we speak. It's hard for him to say, oh, yeah, I'll take a back seat. I'll go be Jimmy G's, I don't know, Derek Carr's backup quarterback. It's not how he's put together. It's not who he is. It's not how he was put on this planet. And those teams aren't going to be comfortable with that, because he's too big of a force. He's not your typical Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is the greatest backup quarterback you could ever have, because he says nothing. He's quiet. I don't even know if Cooper Rush, I'm a fan of Cooper Rush, as you know. If he walked in this door right now, I'm not sure I would recognize him. I think I would, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I definitely would not recognize Cooper Rush if he walked in.
But if Cam Newton walked in this door, I would definitely know Cam.
Skip, the thing is, with a backup, it's hard to be Cam Newton, go from MVP, Rookie of the Year, I'm a Pro Bowl player, to being a backup.
Can't do it. I don't blame him. I don't expect him to.
Yes, but Skip, who honestly looks at Cam Newton's tape since he left Carolina and says, man, you know what? Man, if we just had Cam, our fortunes would change.
All right. So now you're going to go throw back in your old stomping grounds. And what I always loved about Cam, the reason I backed him going into that draft is, you went to Florida, you had an issue, but you overcame it, because you go all the way out to Blinn Junior College and you say, watch this. You go win the national championship. Then you say, watch this. I'll go to Auburn, SEC, and I'll go win the national championship. It's huge. It's just like huge upon huge. When you can do that, you're good in my books.
That might be the greatest performance in a college season. I know Joe Burrow skipped his stats.
I know.
But Joe Burrow had talent. Cam Newton ain't have nowhere near that.
It's another one where he put him on his shoulders and said, here we go.
Can we really name any offensive player that played any time in the league? And Cam basically put that team on his back. Now, obviously, he didn't have the greatest championship game. I think they played Oregon. I think the running back was the MVP of the game, offensive MVP. But Skip, what he was able to do to run the gauntlet through the SEC on him, like you said, he was really Superman.
I mean, he beat Alabama by himself. I'll never forget that.
They were down. I think they were down like 20-0 or something like that. They came back.
I just sat there in awe. We were up in Bristol, Connecticut. I was with Ernestine on that. Was it Friday after Thanksgiving? We were sitting at a restaurant, just sitting back in awe, watching Cam pull off the comeback.
He was amazing.
Okay.
Skip, that was 2015. Skip, that was 8 years ago. 2015 was 8 years ago. When he went to the Super Bowl with the MVP, I think he had 35 touchdowns passing, 10 touchdowns rushing. He was MVP and deserved to win that award. But Cam hasn't been good since. And you talk about, well, I was hurt. Cam, you knew you was hurt. You took the job to go to New England. You knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, you say you still, you got to come in and learn the plays. That's a part of it.
Yeah.
When you're Skip, when you're a free agent, you got to go with, it's kind of like the reserves. Skip, they call you up, you got to be ready to go. You got to be able to drop everything. Well, Cam, you're a free agent. They call you, got to be ready to go. And you can't give them an excuse, man, I wasn't ready, I got to learn the plays and yada, yada, yada. Because nobody wants to hear that. Because this is what you subjected yourself to.
Okay. Now, the way he went about this with the hype video.
Man.
Maybe I can think more like some of these GMs and owners and coaches do than you can, because I sort of come from that side.
They ain't looking at no Twitter and IG.
Hey, okay. But when they do look at this, they'll look at this video. They will all see this video. They won't love it because it's going to come across to them like you're taking shots at them. Like, why did you pick that guy? Why did you pick that guy?
Right.
You're a fool. That's a random. That's a random. That's a random. They just won't love how you're re-announcing yourself to the NFL. This is not the best way to do it, to me.
I agree.
Then I'm looking at the hashtags, hashtag shine through the shade, and hashtag not for likes, just for life.
Bro, you put that on IG.
This is for likes.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, this is all likes.
Because all you had to do, I'm sure he has representation, call the 32 GM and say, at Auburn's Pro Day, Cam would like to throw.
He will be present. We request
That's
your
all
presence.
you got to do.
I think Auburn is not rife with NFL talent
No,
this
they're
year.
not.
So I don't think it was going to be a big turnout to start with, but you just did it last night, and if I'm not mistaken, it's today is the pro day.
But
well, you're not giving people much warning here.
Exactly. But here's the thing, though, Skip. If you was like that, and people were like, okay, you could just call them up and say, I'm having my own pro day. I'm going to throw. Hey, would you like to attend?
No problem.
But that's what Odell did. Odell had his own.
He did.
So many
teams
sent representatives to watch Odell run routes, catch the football, and see what type of shape he was in.
Okay. So he wants to be there and kind of go along for the ride of, okay, it's their pro day, and I'm kind of going back to where I started. It's been over 12 years since his pro day at Auburn. But the only advantage here is that it's not so much to see you throw. A lot of might be able to talk to him and sort of, quote unquote, interview him just to see where his head is at. What is he thinking right now? Does he want to be a backup, or is it clear cut that it's starter or bust for him? And that's the only advantage here. That's the only silver lining to this that I can see. I'm just telling you the timing of this is terrible, because everybody is pretty much set, and especially with who they want to be their starting quarterback.
Well, you said the time, and I thought the execution was poorly done also. Like I said, just call the have your representative. I don't know if you're representative, or you can call yourself and says, hey, or reach out to the NFLPA and says, I like to schedule a pro day, and ask their teams would they like to be in attendance. This is at this time. I'm at this venue, and keep it moving. Why you need to put that on IG?
Well, as you say, it's what kids do today, right? I'm not sure he's still a kid.
Well, you can't hashtag, what'd you say, for love, not for likes? You can't hashtag that and you put it up there.
Not for likes, just for life. Okay. No, probably not. So good luck to him. I hope he catches somebody's eye. As you always say, it only takes one team.
It only takes one team.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's so late in the game, Skip. They've got teams that fill their board out. Their board is what it is. And right now they're looking at, okay, this is who we like. If he's there, we're going to take him. What happens if he's not there? What if somebody up higher is there? Do we take said player? I don't think people are looking at the boards like, okay, let's readjust our board because Cam Newton might be here, so let's readjust our board completely. I don't think teams are doing that. I could be wrong. I've never been in the front office meeting, never know. I haven't been where they're drafting, how they do the draft board, Skip. But I just thought, like you said, I just believe, hey, you could have got this out the way in February, early March, right at the hey, Skip, you should have had a representative at the combine say, hey, Cam is getting ready. He's going to set something to get probably in like 2 weeks. So right after the combine, Skip, before everybody has their pro day, do my own thing. Now, maybe he's going to throw the Auburn receivers. I don't know if they have receivers or tight ends or running back, and maybe he's going to throw there. Maybe he's gotten some guys that's going to come down and run routes for him. But I just, this notion that Cam is what he once was is just not true if you watch the tape.
He's been out of football for a whole year. And did not end well the year before.
Correct.
Cam Newton was up throwing at Auburn's Pro Day yesterday, and guess what? All 32 NFL teams in attendance. Cam's younger brother, Kalen, is a receiver at Auburn. He talked to reporters telling them, quote, "Honestly, this was Cam showing love to me. He doesn't owe anybody anything. He's had an amazing journey, an amazing career in the NFL. He has nothing to prove to anybody. This was just to show love to his little brother and just share this moment with me." Pretty sweet, huh? Shannon, what do you think Cam accomplished yesterday?
Well, he said he was healthy. His brother said he was healthy. I didn't really see a whole lot of it, just saw clips, kind of like what we were showing. I think his brother was really excited that Big Brother came down and threw him passes in front of the scouts and things of that nature. But we're going to need to ask the people that were in attendance that's going to make the decisions whether or not to bring Cam Newton in, Skip, and give him an opportunity. How did he look to them?
Yep.
Did they notice any difference between 2020, 2021? Cam said he was hurt. Cam said he had surgery in the offseason, going in, learning a new system, getting there half the season. And so we'll just have to see what they thought of the way he threw the ball yesterday. I think for me is that, I don't have a problem if someone gives Cam an opportunity.
Yep.
But I just want people to understand this notion that Cam is owed something based on what he was. That's where I part with anybody. Because this is an update. What I say, Skip, you update your resume. You don't get to live on what you did in 2015, 14, 13, and here we are in 2023. But you say, oh, you remember? Yeah, we remember. But that was long ago. So if he gets an opportunity, he can go out there and show people. I got no problem with that whatsoever. But this notion that Cam was great his last few years in Carolina, or he was great when he was in New England, or he was happy when he went to Carolina. No, that's just not true. Okay. And if he can make a comeback, I got no problem. And I'll be happy to sit up here and say, man, Cam looked unbelievable yesterday. They won that game because of Cam.
Gotcha. Now, back to Kalen, his younger brother. Mm-hmm. Kalen played at Auburn for 2 years before transferring to William and Mary.
Right.
But he went back to Auburn yesterday for Pro Day, and it was Kalen who said that he brought up the idea to Cam, why don't you come with me? And this is Kalen's quote. His reaction was mouth open, shocked. And this is still Kalen talking. I asked him, I was like, man, let's do something that hasn't been done before. Let's do things the right way. Let's cap off our Auburn journey. He graduated from here. I graduated from here. It's nothing like being back and sharing this moment with him. Right. That's cool. I'm really good with that.
Absolutely.
So was this all about Kalen? Was this about Cam showing up to attract even more attention to his younger brother and the other Auburn receivers to whom he threw passes?
Right.
Maybe, but Kalen also made the point that Cam did want to display there was a representative from all 32 teams, display that he's still in business and that he's still open for business and that he can still throw the ball at the highest level that he ever threw it at. Okay, I got that. So was it the proverbial killing two birds with one throw? Okay, well maybe so. But this was interesting to me. Now we get to the why of it, or the sort of the framework of how you went about this. And it was interesting to me that before he threw at Pro Day, he tweeted back at you because you had made the point yesterday, your opening salvo was about his hype video that he posted, and he was saying these randoms out there, 32, I'm better than the randoms who are getting jobs. I'm better than 32. Did he say all 32? Whatever it was.
He said there's not 32.
They're not 32.
Better than
yes, there you go. So he tweets back at you, and it was a very respectful tweet. It wasn't a take issue. He said, point taken, Shannon. I am not denying some facts that you brought up, Very valid, but if you give me a full offseason to learn what I am supposed to do with a stable franchise, I promise you I will prove I'm no random, sir. Very respectful, but digging in, saying, just give me a full offseason. Okay, back to the point I made yesterday. If you wanted a full offseason, you have to strike while the iron is hot right after the Super Bowl. Some point, very soon after the Super Bowl, you need to make it clear that you want to play this coming year. Because if you want a full offseason with somebody, you can't wait until late March to go to Auburn's Pro Day because it's too late.
Right.
the dominoes are falling. The musical chairs are stopping because all those randoms have signed.
Right.
And teams have committed to randoms, quote unquote. Teams have committed to the draft. I'm going to take Bryce Young. No, I think I might take C.J. Stroud or Will Levis or Anthony Richardson. I'll take one of them. Maybe there's somebody down the line that people are laying in wait for, where they say there's another quarterback in the third round. We think he could be our guy.
Right.
Okay? It's too late in the process for this to suddenly, he didn't announce he was going to be at the Auburn Pro Day until the night before.
Right.
Well, if teams had, I just read where at the C.J. Stroud Pro Day, which I think is today, that Carolina is sending 11 people from its staff. 11 people? Okay. But it's because they're leaning in that direction, and they want the full staff, including the owner and I believe his wife, to go and get a firsthand look. How does he handle himself? Let's take him to dinner afterwards. Let's chat with him. Let's see inside him. Let's talk to people around him. Okay, that's how you do it. Well, it takes time, and you have to give people a heads up where the 32 reps who went to the Auburn Pro Day, I don't think Auburn's loaded with NFL talent.
I don't think so either.
Okay, so it wasn't like teams are really going to send the top people to the Auburn Pro Day. They're just probably down the line scouts who went to just record what happens, right?
Yeah, Skip, and he says, well, give me an offseason with a stable franchise.
All right.
Okay, in 2016, were you healthy? 2017, were you healthy?
Yeah.
2018, were you healthy? Now, I mean, I understand that I don't know how much he knew what was going on upstairs with Mr. Richardson at the time. I don't know, Skip. Maybe he knew, maybe he didn't know.
Okay.
But I don't think people thought that there was instability.
No, it was viewed as a stable franchise with a stable head coach.
Right, with Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. You had off-season surgery, I think, after the 2019 season, leading into 2020, and which caused you to, okay, I get that. But this notion and that people are trying to say, well, Cam played really great and he just fell out of the league is just not true. Okay, if you want to say some of it was injury related, I got no problem with that. But let's not pretend like he had a Patrick Mahomes season or a Joe Burrow season, and then teams like, no, we done with Cam.
Yeah.
That just wasn't the case. And that's all I'm trying to say. And plus the fact is, okay, Cooper Rush was perfectly fine. I think he got $2.5, $3 million. You gonna be okay with that? Because we see Odell saying $4 million is not enough.
Yeah.
So nobody's bringing you in at $25, $30 million and saying, okay, Cam, here's the starting job. So what's the entry point for you? How much are you willing to take as far as monetarily? And then what are your expectations? Because clearly, Skip, it seems like teams kind of have their guy or they're about to get their guy.
That's correct. Okay. So quick backstory to this. As you were aware, back in, I don't know, October maybe it was, through back channels, I was made aware that Cam might be interested in coming on Undisputed. And I said, great. Come on in. We were going to make sure he came out here and sat right here. And I said, we could have you for the whole show. We could talk about your future in the NFL, which he was interested in regaining at that point. And we could just do football topics all day because he's got a huge, great personality. And I'm pretty sure he could do what we do, right? I'm pretty sure he'd be pretty great at it. Never know, but until you get out here and the lights are on. But the point is, I was looking forward to that. At the last second, he said he had some family issues he had to clean up and clear up, or some family business. I don't know what it was. One thing led to another, and it didn't work. But my point is, that's another way to do it, because now you put the word out. Now the NFL is looking around like, oh, wait a second. Oh, you're still interested in playing? He's only 33. It's not like he's 45 like Brady. He's 33, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that would be another way to re-enter the correct way. This was just haphazard, and it was a little late in the game. The game's about to finish here.
I think the thing is, Skip, it's not like Cam was ever fundamentally sound with mechanics. Okay, if you're injured and you're not fundamentally sound with mechanics, the ball's going to be all over the place. The ball's going to be skipped. The ball's going to be sailing. The ball's going to be wide left, wide right. So there might be some truth to that, because there are some passes that I throw like, well, damn, you're an NFL quarterback and you doing that with the football?
Okay, but I agree with that. But he won the MVP, and
Yeah.
you got to be pretty accurate to win the MVP.
Yeah, but Skip, that was in 2015. You got to update your resume.
You got to update. But listen, what he did at Blinn Junior College, what he did at Auburn, and then what he did for those Carolina Panthers, he put them on his broad shoulders and said, I will carry. I know their defense was really good, and that middle linebacker was really good.
Yeah, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day.
You got it, Kuechly. And yet, he got them to, again, Von Miller took over the Super Bowl, but Cam lifted them into the Super Bowl. So his intangibles are high to me.
Yes.
So he's got a big package, but he got beat up. He, quote unquote, died for their cause. And yet, would I like to see him get a shot?
Sure.
Now we're back to the age-old issue with Cam Newton. He was not born to be a backup quarterback.
No. That's not a role for everybody. That's not a role for everybody, Skip.
He's not Cooper Rush.
No.
He's just not. I'm sorry. He's not Josh McCown.
What about Geno? Skip, Geno basically has been a career backup.
He has.
He started for a few years, but for the last probably 6 years, 7 years, he's been a backup.
Yeah.
You think Cam's going to sit for like 3 years before he get ready to get another opportunity?
Yeah.
No.
He has indicated he would be open to being a backup. Shannon, you and I know it would last like 2 weeks, and he'd say, come on, man.
Because guess what? I'm better than that random.
He just know. He would just say it, and it's just hard for him to live with it, and I don't blame him.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. I hope he's healthy. I hope he's healthy, and he gets the opportunity so we can see either he can or he can't. Because right now there's too much speculation. Cam needs an opportunity. Some think he can play. Some think, well, he might can play, but how well can he play? If he's healthy, which he's indicated he is, his brother's indicated that he's healthy.
Yep.
Hopefully someone gives him an opportunity, bring him in. Maybe he has to go throw. And I know, Skip, sometimes once you reach a certain level, why I got to come in and interview for a job? Skip, if you've been a CEO of a company and all of a sudden somebody wants you to come in, like, hold on, I've been a CEO. Why I got to come interview? Because you hadn't been a CEO here. You hadn't been anything for this job. Well, Cam, you never played football for this team. You never played for this head coach. You never had to sit down with this general manager. So there might be some things that normally he wouldn't have to do that he'll have to do, like come in and actually throw.
As he said, point taken.
It'll be interesting to see, guys. I never underestimate what we might see out of Cam Newton. All right, Skip, I know this one hurt a little bit last night. Do you think the Clippers just saw their title hopes slip away last night? Nasty injury to Paul George. Let's dive in and unpack this one on the other side of this break.